Hot mess. Hot mess, y'all. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hi, I'm Alicia, and you're watching the APLCrafts channel. And today's episode is going to be a catch up on what I'm making for 2023, mid-January. And we're going to see what I've finished, what I'm working on. And I think I'm going to call this actually a pattern stash down. A lot of people are making videos of their whips, and they're talking about having a yarn stash down or no buy 2023. And it got me thinking, I've got this make 2023 list on Ravelry of all the patterns I want to do for this year. But as I'm looking at my patterns, specifically my purchase patterns, it's getting a little bit up there. Might be lower than some of y'all's, it might be higher than some of y'all's, but for me, it's a little bit uncomfortable. So in my Ravelry, I currently have 48. I have 48 patterns, which, take that as you will for how it relates to you, but for me, that's a little bit overwhelming of just purchase patterns. So even though I'm still going to stick to what I'm making for 2023 bundle on Ravelry, I still want to try to focus on working on the paid for patterns first and try really hard not to buy any patterns until I get down to a comfortable amount. It's not going to be 0. It's not going to be 10, maybe 30. I think that's reasonable, right? Get down to 30, so that's like 18 for the year. I think that's a doable number to try to do that. Some spammers just try to call me. Yay. So anyway, that's my goal. So I'm going to start with what I finished first. That was on my make for 2023. And you might have seen it on my Instagram. But that is this shawl. I talked about making this shawl in I think it was my last episode. My last episode for my plans for 2023. And I can't remember the designer's name, but I'll put it down here. But this is the Sinfonie Geometriche. And I basically just used the same yarn that I used in my Strand Hill sweater. I'll put a picture of it here. And it's the same yarn, it's Barocco Remix. The blue is Nightfall, the gray is Smoke, and I don't remember the red name. Plum, maybe? But yeah, it's all garter stitch. And what I like about this shawl is that I'll put a picture of the original here. I just played around with it a little bit. So instead of picking up in all the places where you're supposed to change, like you're supposed to change colors with every pickup, and I didn't do that. Sometimes I just kind of extended it. So like here I extended the blue, and then I did some of the gray here, and then I extended more of the colors in some places. I don't really remember now where the extensions were, but I just kind of played around where I wanted to put the gray and the blue, and then I was gonna run out of both the gray and the blue. So I put this pop of color in there, and then I just finished off the ends with as much blue as I thought I could get away with. And I don't have it now, but basically I ended up with like, I don't know, maybe 5 grams of blue left. So I just made it. I mean, if I used it all up, it'd probably be just an extra row on the ends. So this is what it looks like on. So Barocco Remix is, I'll say it's not heavy, it's not light. It's a good Goldilocks zone there for a shawl. I would definitely wear this late fall, early winter. It's Tennessee, so except for that weird freaking weather that we got a few weeks ago where it was like the coldest I've ever seen it, we don't get that cold until this month in January, so I'm waiting for it. So we'll see. I don't know if this will be good enough for 12-degree weather, but we'll see. I'll let you know. But that's that. And it came out to 65 inches wide, so that's pretty good. I like my shawls generally around there. Except the next one that I'm going to show you didn't quite reach that length, which is a bummer. But some cool stuff came out of that. So the next one that I finished, yeah, this one was on the list too for 2023, is Riding the Wave by Petra Breakstone. And this one, it's not the pattern, it's me. So the original wrap is, I don't know, 65 inches, something like that. This one, I aggressively blocked it as much as I could, and I got 55 inches. But the reason is that I used a size US 8 instead of a US 11 because I like the fabric better, but I really should have added repeats to the pattern, which I did not do, so that was on me. But this yarn is, what do I have? Bug Tussle. That would be the darker, not the dark brown, but like the medium brown is Bug Tussle. And they don't name their colors, but it's Shetland alpaca. I'm not going to try to read anything backwards, y'all. Sorry. Shetland alpaca, worsted weight. And another one was, I'll put it down here. I think one was Buckmaster. I think maybe two of them are Buckmaster. I'll write it down. I don't do show notes, can you tell? So, but this wrap is really cool. It's got this checkerboard that it starts off with, and then it goes into a stockinette section, and then it does like this. This is where the riding the wave part comes in. So you've got like this up and down going on, and then a little bit more stockinette, and then it's got a seed stitch where you're holding your yarn double, and then you go back to stockinette. And then I chose to do the garter for the end. I think the original pattern was I-cord bind off, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to match the garter that was going on here, so that's what I did. And I added rows in the stockinette portion here and here, so that I could get the height, if you will, which I think ended up being 10.5 inches. So it's still usable. It's just not the length that I would have liked. So can you wear it as a proper shawl or a wrap? But you can wear it as a scarf. Let me do this right. Oh goodness. There we go. So if you want to wear it as a proper scarf, you could do that. The cool thing about this pattern is there were only 2 projects on Ravelry for it, and so I was the 3rd one. And the designer actually reached out to me and asked if she could feature my pictures on her her pattern page. So I was like, yeah. So I thought that was really cool because that's never happened to me before. So I'll show that page here. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. So, I mean, would I knit this again? Yeah, I would. And I would definitely add repeats. So if you're going to do this, you definitely want to, I mean, check your fabric, because, you know, how many people actually swatch for a shawl? But, you know, at the same time, sometimes if something like this happens, it's like, I probably should have swatched a little bit and figured out that I could have added like another repeat, but I didn't do that. So again, on me, it's not the pattern. I just took a shower, so my hair's all wet. Yeah, I don't care, right? So speaking of Bug Tussle, I am working on another pattern for my make for 2023, and that is this. It's called Beneath the Pines pattern. If you do a how do I want to say this? If you're familiar with lace, this is an easy pattern. That being said, so I'm knitting along last night, right? And I'm like, why am I missing 2 stitches? Did I count wrong? What's going on? So, I go back and I count, and I'm like, no, this, what's wrong? Count again. Oh, I didn't do a yarn over 2 rows below. So me thinking I'm savvy, right? I'm like, oh, well, I know how to fix stuff if I block off the yarn here and block off the yarn here and do a lifeline. I can just, drop down and pick the stitches back up. I've never done that in lace. And let me tell you something. It was a nightmare. The amount of time I spent trying to figure this out, this little section right here, trying to figure it out and fix it, I could have just tinked back. Because it's not a whole lot. I could have just tinked back in the same amount of time. But then, oh no. So I decided I was going to tink back. Okay, so I tinked back. I screwed up as I'm tinking back. I don't know how. Oh no, I do know how. It was way past my bedtime. My eyes were hurting. I had a headache. I really should have gone to bed. And here I am tinking back lace. So this morning, I pick it back up. I'm still messing it up because I get over here to the lifeline and I'm like, what's going on? I can't, I have no words. Easy lace, y'all. Not so easy anymore, is it? Yeah. So, after this is over, I'm going to tink back another row or 2 and hopefully I can fix this and move on with my life. For reference, here's a picture of the shawl. And I used worsted weight instead of chunky weight because even though I have a little bit of chunky weight in my stash, I don't really use it. I think I'm actually going to get rid of it or destash it. I recently ran into a neighbor who is a big knitter and also works at a place where I'm guessing it might be a nursing home or something from the way it sounded. Or there's a lot of knitters and crocheters, so I think I'm just going to destash to her. So anyway, I'm using this yarn, Bug Tussle. They are, I didn't tell you where they are from, and I don't think this says. I know they're localish to me. Kentucky. They're in Kentucky. This beautiful yarn though. What was it? Shetland alpaca. I don't know if you can see, but it's gorgeous. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Hopefully it works. And I totally jumped around because I have another FO. So, I don't normally show socks or anything on my Instagrams, or any other social media. But I'm kind of proud of these, even though they're scrappy. So I made knee highs. And I'm gonna take photos of them later, but yeah. This is mostly my yarn. I would say half it's my yarn. But I made proper knee highs and I'm so proud of them. Because I want something for my legs for the middle of winter because it's a little too cold here for me in the winter, so I need something. So I did matching toes, heels, and cuffs, and afterthought heel. And this color is Forest Floor. That one's in my shop. This color I don't think is in my shop. And I don't even actually remember what it was called. Garden Wedding? I don't know. This one's Ichiban. It's purple. And then going into here, this is Country Charm, this tweed by Passion Knits, and it still has my blue. And then I go into Forest Floor again, and this is Barocco Vintage, but I don't remember the name of the color. And then just do that all the way to the top. And this is all DK. But I start, like, when I do my socks, it's really like back burner. It's like whenever I'm out and I remember to bring my knitting, that's generally what I'll have with me is my socks. So this took a few months to do, but I'm so proud of them. I can't wait to take photos. Okay. Oh, I forgot to bring something. I'll be right back. Okay, the last thing that I'm working on my make for 2023. It's not much yet. It's just a few inches. That's inside out. Okay. I'm making the Ripple Camisole by Jessie Made Designs. And this yarn is, where is it? It's Conserving Threads. This is the label. And I think she is localish to me too, but this doesn't say where. But it's hand spun cotton. It's almost, it's kind of like light fingering weight, heavy lace. It's like super thin. So I'm knitting this on a US 3 to get this fabric. Now, if you've knit any of these 3x3 rib designs by Jessie May, you know that they have a good stretch. So this is what it looks like without stretching it. This is about, when I don't stretch it and it's on the needles, it's about 41 inches around. So, and then when I'm knitting it, you know, my needles are 47 inches. So when it stretches, it's like that. And it's got like this thick and thin going on. And the colorway is like a, it doesn't have a name, but it's like, I mean, it's purple, but it's kind of like a muted lilac-y purple. So I am knitting this for a make-along that excuse me, for a make-along that's going on. Started January 1st, it ends March 31st, and it is run by White Rose Fiber Company. I had to write it down over here, and Kimber's Cozy Creations. And I will write the names down here, and their hashtag is Spring Tea Mail. So you can check out they have 2 posts up there right now, and they're both from, one's from White Rose Fiber Company, and the other one's from Kimber's Cozy Creations, and they both have basically the same information. It's the same picture, and it tells you where to go for details if you want to join the Spring Tea Mail. I know it has to be a spring t-shirt, and it has to be adult size. So you can go there and look for details on that. But that's what I'm doing. I don't normally join make-alongs, but I was like, well, why not? I'm already doing this anyway. So, you know, if I'm already doing the thing, you know, why not? So yeah, that's what this is. So hopefully I'll get it done in time, because this is slow going because the yarn is so thin. Well, we'll see. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I don't think so. So short and sweet. I'll see you at the end of January, beginning of February, with my final final makes for January, and the things I finished, and we'll see what I knocked off the list, both paid for patterns and for what was on my list for 2023. All right, so thank you for watching. Please give me a like if you like this video, and leave a comment. You know, let's chat. Tell me what you're making. It'd be cool to know. If you're going to join the Spring Tea Mail, let me know what your ideas are. I'd like to see them. Yeah, so have a good rest of the month, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.